What's going on, y'all? It's currently January 1st, 2019, which means that January 5th, J5, the Founders Day for Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, it's only 4 days away. So now this gives me time to reflect on why I chose to be a part of this organization, why I became a member of this organization. I was first introduced to Kappa during my freshman year in college at Mississippi Valley State University. I had never really been exposed to fraternity life like that. In Chicago, the culture is not as rich. Now, it's a lot of Greeks here. There's a lot of people. It's a lot of members of Greek letter organizations here in the city of Chicago. A lot of members of the Divine Nine here. But the culture is not as rich as it is down south. So when I went down south in Mississippi and I saw the culture of how Greek life was, I was fascinated. I was in awe because it was what I imagined seeing when I saw Stump the Yard, which is a movie that made me want to go to college. I worked in a bookstore at Mississippi Valley State University, and I got to work in a bookstore. Mr. Baker, he told me, he said I was a graduate, not graduate assistant. I'm sorry, I was work study. He told me, he say, man, we gonna make you a Kappa, boy. We gonna make you a Kappa. And I'm like, what? Like, I had no idea really what it was. Like, I didn't even know the colors. I didn't know nothing. I was fresh. Only thing I knew was Omega Psi Phi's because my grandfather's a member. But even then, he ain't the type to just walk around with his letters on like that. He'll have some stuff in the house. He told us, we saw his brands, but we really wasn't really exposed to it. I'm speaking me and my siblings and my cousins and stuff. So Mr. Baker told me, gonna make you a Kappa, boy. And I'm like, man, I don't know what you're talking about. I remember I went to the probate. This was fall 2012. So I went to the probate and I saw these brothers. Listen, when I saw the prophytes come and see the neos, the prophytes was dressed clean. I mean, they were sharp as a porcupine from head to toe. I mean, from the suits, the suit jackets, from the bow ties, from the just the collared shirts, from the slacks they were wearing, from the shoes that were just so clean and so dope, to how clean cut their hair was, and clean cut their hairstyles was, and how just, I don't know, they looked like professional men. They didn't wear no baggy clothes hanging all off of them. Their pants wasn't sagging. They presented themselves as a person would want to present themselves when they talking to a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Like, that's how their image was. And I remember watching the probate, even the neos were clean. And I liked, how they presented themselves. I liked that they could twirl a cane. It was cool to me. All of that was cool. And when I came and I saw, like, the women were in awe of them, like, not just because of, the moves that they did, the shimmy and all of that, but because of how well groomed they were, how much pride they took in how they looked, how they acted. They weren't jumping around. They weren't loud, obnoxious individuals, what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to talk about anybody else or anything like that at all, but they weren't obnoxious people. They weren't rude. They weren't like the ones that I saw. They were nothing like that at all. And so I'm like, man, they all seem to support one another. Whenever one another had something going on, they would always show up in droves to support one of the brothers. And I said, you know what? That's a brotherhood that I can respect, a brotherhood that I could see myself becoming a part of one day. But I still have to do my research. I really didn't research before that, but that was just me looking on the outside, looking in, just surface value. So when I went and I looked up the information on the fraternity, I saw that they were founded January 5th, which happens to be my birthday. J5 is my birthday. I was born on January 5th. What a coincidence. I said, wow, okay. Cool. Let's dive more into it. I saw that the fraternity stood for achievement in every field of human endeavor. And then I looked at the brothers, like profound people. Like, I'm seeing CEOs, Bob Johnson, former owner of BET, billionaire, black man. That was powerful to me to see that. I saw all type of different professionals, all type of, like the founders were individuals who were educators. They were dentists, you know, and it were other brothers that were mathematicians. I think Kappa Alpha Psi is the first black male mathematician. And I saw astronauts. I saw philanthropists, athletes like Arthur Ashe, Gail Sayers, Wilt Chamberlain, Oscar Robertson, Bill Russell. These men were just not just athletes. They were men that stood for something, that stood for evoking change in the black community. And this fraternity helped to help African-American men recognize that they could be much more than laborers. They could be men that worked in prominent professions that is well respected, you know, and that was something that I admired. When I looked up the information on the fraternity, I also saw that they were founded at a predominantly white institution, Indiana University, basically in the Ku Klux Klan's backyard. For an organization, members of an organization to have the courage to start an organization to advance for the advancement of black men, for the advancement of these black young men to recognize their potential outside of just being laborers and cleanup people, to recognize that they could be journalists, accountants, businessmen, they could be dentists, they could be lawyers. This organization did that in the Ku Klux Klan's backyard. That just showed me, that told me everything I needed to know about the founders and what they stood for and the principles that they stood on. Also, man, when I was at Mississippi Valley State University, the men that I encountered, the older men that were a part of the organization, they were all like, they were about their business. They didn't play no games. They were doing things to make sure that their family were taken care of. And they looked out for younger brothers, not even brothers that was just in a fraternity, outside of the fraternity, like myself, picking me up from the train when I needed a ride, taking me to the train, providing me with some things that I may have needed. A guy by the name of Roshan Bailey, man, Mr. Bailey at Mississippi Valley State University, he served as my advisor for when I was Mr. Mississippi Valley State University, helped me get dressed, helped me prepare speeches, and helped me recognize, and it gave me, you know, a graduation gift to recognize a lot about life. Like, and I didn't know Roshan for a very long time, but he had a profound effect on me to see how much of a businessman he was, how he carried himself, always professional, but fun, down to earth, cool, crack jokes all the time, just a good, fun person to be around. And I'm like, man, he's a positive brother. And I'm like, man, if I could just stay on track to be a man, like to resemble a man that Mr. Bailey is, that took care of his family, took care of friends, it was like, man, okay, I'm doing something right. And I always had my father in my life too. I wanted to aspire to be like my father as well. But it also helps when you have other guys that you see that maybe are doing something that you're doing, that you have interest in, and they're on the right track as well. That helps you. So I didn't have the opportunity to become a member of Kappa Alpha Psi while I was at Mississippi Valley State University. They didn't have any lines when I had the money to do so. They didn't have any lines, and they didn't have intake. When I had saved up the money for 2 straight years, they didn't have intake. So I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I really want to be part of this organization. I went to graduate school at Arkansas State University. Met some really great brothers from the Theta Mu chapter there. And man, I developed a bond, a great relationship with them individuals. And these men were cool, real down to earth, real chill, and presented themselves the same way presented themselves the same way that those brothers did at Mississippi Valley State University. So me, and being around them, I'm like, man, I know I still want to do this. You know, I knew I still wanted to do it even outside of, you know, my undergraduate years. So I was able to have the opportunity to become a member of Kappa Alpha Psi. I was initiated into the Jonesboro alumni chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Man, and it's been a absolute wonderful ride ever since then, man. The bond that I have with those brothers and the brothers at Theta Mu at Arkansas State University, like no other, man, like no other. Whenever I need something, they come through. if I need anything, if they need anything, I come through for them as well. Like these brothers are brothers that are authors, that are fathers, like myself, and guys that are serious about life, serious about helping individuals, but also take brotherhood very seriously. And that is something that I appreciate. I appreciated that. And this fraternity in itself, not outside of the Theta Mu chapter, outside of Jonesboro Alumni chapter, seeing other brothers, they always, every time I have paraphernalia on, like right now, I got the coat of arms on my neck. Got the backpack here. When I see brothers, when I had it on, I seen police officers. Yo, Noob, what's going on? We grip up, we chat, and they talk to me like they've been knowing me all my life, and they're super excited to see me. I was working in Hyde Park neighborhood. I had on an Indiana hat with a Kappa jacket. Brother pledge at the Alpha chapter. He stopped me, and he was just looked so happy to see a young brother, man. He said, I don't see too many young brothers here in Chicago, like young like yourself, that are noops. And I'm proud to see that the tradition is carrying on, and it's growing. It's growing, man. And even when I see young brothers, man, it's always love, man. But the older brothers especially, man, they be so proud. Like, and the look on their face, proud to see a young brother carrying on tradition. And when they see me a lot of times too, I'm always like coming from work. So I got on a shirt and tie or some slacks and shoes, and they see, you know, that I'm well presented, and they really be happy to see that, you know. And again, man, it's just been it's been great these last few years being a member, man. It's been absolutely great, and I wouldn't take it back for anything. I'm super proud to be a member of this organization, and I feel like it's a brotherhood that if I shall have a son or sons, I have a daughter now, but if I shall have a son or sons, I would like my sons to be a part of this organization. Man, my uncle, my deceased uncle, was a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, and I found this out in my quest to becoming a member. And you know, he wasn't alive to see me become a member, but I know he would be proud. Just to see what Kappa men stand for. You got brothers on the front line like Colin Kaepernick, fighting day and night. Brothers on the front line fighting for the community, fighting for our people, talking about what's right and wrong. Our brother told me Kappa men are not meek and mild men. You're not, you know, scared individuals. You have to be a courageous brother to speak on certain things, because certain things need to be spoken upon. And our people need our voices. So, you know, to see a brother like Colin Kaepernick out here on the front lines, see guys like Mark Lamont Hill, another member of Kappa Alpha Psi, doing some great work, is always admirable, man. Chris Broussard is also a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Cedric the Entertainer, a lot of cool down-to-earth brothers, man. And every time I see one of my brothers, man, it's always nothing but love. They got all type of advice for me. Job openings, job positions. They always forthcoming about things. They don't know me from a sheet of paper, but they know I got this coat of arms on me. They know when they talk to me, they grip me up. They know I'm a brother. They say, listen, that's my brother. I'm going to help him with whatever he needs. With whatever he needs. If he need a job, if he needs something, I'm going to help him seek this. Because he got brothers in all different fields that do all different type of things that can help each other grow and become prosperous men, man. And Kappa Alpha Psi is a fraternity that has extended outside. It's not just black people in this organization. We have people who are Caucasian. We have people who are Asian. We have people who are all different type of ethnicities. But this brotherhood, and I believe the reason why it's expanded internationally and across races and ethnicities is because of how great this bond is, man. And I'm just truly proud and blessed to be a part of this bond. I love all my brothers. Yo to the Noops. On J5, man, I'm probably gonna put up a strolling video. Look, I got the sparkling wine. You know, I don't drink really, you know. But on J5, I'm gonna make a video. I I don't know, probably twirling or strolling, something like that. I might put up something with LBs or something like that. But man, just proud to be a Newt, man. Peace. No, matter of fact, yo.